Hello and welcome back to Vita versus 3DS. In this edition we are going to compare and contrast the Swapnote app on 3DS against the Paint Park app on Vita. Now some of you may be asking why this comparison is being made because Swapnote, as we know, is primarily a messaging app, while Paint Park is kind of more of a drawing app. But of course, as many of us already know here, Swapnote has largely become a drawing app. The vast majority of my messages, as you can see here, are drawings, very great drawings, because my list is full of great artists here that I can compare to. But it's largely become a drawing app, and to send messages back and forth and really neat drawings between your people on your friends list. So that's why the comparison is being made. So this is the basic layout. What we can do here is, we don't have many options at the bottom, but you have an eraser, you have a pen. If you tap the pen or the eraser, you get a 3D mode, which if you scribble on the screen, which you can't see of course in this video, appears in 3D, your whatever you're drawing. And of course the 3D eraser only erases the 3D stuff. Must be noted, something that must be noted is that the resistive touchscreen on the 3DS here does really great, has really great accuracy. Whatever you are writing here, I mean, it's just like writing on a piece of paper. It's really great. It's like, it's really intuitive, and as you're going to see with the Vita app using a capacitive touchscreen, it's not as accurate. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is just quickly draw something for you guys, just to show that how nice and accurate it is with this. Something else that it's got to be noted is that you don't have unlimited ink in this. Your ink is kind of limited a little bit. As you start to get towards the limit, it kind of warns you that you're exceeding it. And this is not because 3DS runs out of memory with regards to the ink on the screen. It's primarily because a really cool feature it has is that it plays back the order that you drew things at, or the order that you wrote things at. So when your person receives the message, it just plays it back, which is a really neat feature. It's kind of cool. Sorry for my lack of drawing skills here. I'm trying to draw a bee. Okay, and done. So I'm just gonna write Kirby here because I'm sending it to my buddy. Kirby is awesome. Okay, so send it, hit the save button, and the great thing about this, since it's a messaging system, is that you can send it online, which is really awesome, or through StreetPass, but whatever, we're gonna send it online via SpotPass. You can send it to all your friends, but I'm gonna go to a specific friend who I messaged before, and he's cool with it. So he's gonna get my nice drawing of a bee. I sent it to him, and yeah. So I mean, this is what makes StreetPass great. I mean, this is what makes SwapPass great. You don't. It's super. The whole system is designed around sending and sharing, and the capacitive touchscreen is really awesome. I don't like the fact that you can run out of ink. I don't think that's really great. But and the fact that you only have one color is black. Whereas in Paint Park you have multiple colors. But for what it is, I think it's a really great app. Anyway, so now we are going to move on to Paint Park. Alright, so on to Paint Park. As mentioned before in this video, Paint Park isn't a messaging system like Swapnote is, so it's missing a lot of the networking and a lot of the great sending features that that Swapnote has. But it is a painting program, so it has more features in terms of actually making things. But as we can see here, it says Paint with Friends and Paint Alone. Paint with Friends isn't online because, of course, it's a networking or a messaging system, which kind of sucks and is a big missed opportunity in my opinion. But anyway, so we're going to go to Paint Alone. And here we are. This is our canvas. If we hit this button, all of our options come up. As we can see here, it's much more than than Swapnote. You have different size pens you can use here, different colors, undo and redo buttons. This imports pictures, which is great. You can edit pictures. This takes pictures, which you can edit over and draw stuff over, which is really fun too. Anyway, so as mentioned before too, the resistive touchscreen of the Swapnote offered great accuracy. It was really awesome. Like everything you wrote came out clear and drew. This is a capacitive touchscreen, and your finger. It's not going to be as accurate as a result. But anyway, I'm going to try drawing the same picture that I did before, but with this, and see how I do. Now, as we're going to see here, see that little magnifying glass on the left side? That's great because it shows you what you're drawing on the other side. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to know because your finger's covering it. But I really think that's a really smart feature they added. I also think the music in Paint Park is a little better than Swapnote. Not that that should be a game-breaking, a game changer right there, but also another thing worth mentioning is that you don't run out of ink. You can draw as much as you want. This is primarily because, as mentioned before, that on Swapnote, the playback feature, it can't be too long and it takes up a lot of memory on the system itself, so that's why they limit the amount of ink you can use. And this doesn't have that feature, so it doesn't have that handicap. Also the different size pens you could use, which this is the default size, which is a little thicker than the thinnest size, is a nice welcome addition because it makes coloring and stuff a little easier. So yeah, since it's not a messaging system at all, you can't just take your photos and directly send them to someone like you can with Swapnote. Like, it's all done inside the software itself in Swapnote, which is great. But there is a workaround I found out. So anyway, so as we can see here, we have colors. So I can actually color my bee a little bit, which is awesome. And actually, what I could do here is make a little bigger, use a bigger pen, make it easier to color. And why not? Let's give him a smaller one for this one, actually. Give him his cuffs some color. There we go. And I'd say that's about done. Let's just write Kirby here like the other one. And we're done. So to finish, you just take this and flick it up. And what it does is it saves it in your gallery. To bring up your gallery, hit square, go to your picture. Oops, let's not do that. There we go, and we could take a screenshot, of course, with the Vita screenshot function. Now if I wanted to send that to the same guy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my messaging, and this is of course Kirby right here, so I'm going to send him a nice little hello. And send him the picture that I drew. Attached, send. So he's going to get that. So, I mean, with this in mind, they both work pretty much the same way. Of course, as we saw in the video, and that Paint Park features a more robust sort of drawing ability. at the expense of accuracy because it uses a capacitive touchscreen, while Swapnote has more accuracy, but has a, you can send images and messages in the app itself, which is a little less clumsy. It's a little faster, and having that little playback feature when you draw something is really neat. I've had a lot of people do really funny things with that in terms of crossing out words or things like that. So yeah, I mean, they're both competent. They both do what they have to do, and obviously, since they're different enough and they both accomplish their objectives, that I'm not going to call a winner or a loser here, obviously. Anyway, so yeah, go use Swapnote. Go download Paint Park, which came out today. And yeah, just take care, guys, and I'll see you later.